Canada's coach, John Herdman. Captain, Diana Matheson. Coach, your assessment, a great victory. You came out, played your game, came out victorious, passed to the next round. What's your assessment?
You just said it all. Yeah, it's great for us. We wanted to make sure this game was two things. It was a bit of a statement against a team like Trinidad, who, teams in the tournaments in the past have struggled to put them away. Canada in 2010 sort of narrowly squeezed past them 1-0, the US 1-0 in 2014, and today we really wanted to show that we're here to play and also to get our berth into the semi-final, which was the most important thing that we've been planning and working towards. So we've managed the squad well, and some standout performances today from some of our young players that stepped in.
Diana, can you tell us your thoughts on that goal scored at the beginning of the match?
Yeah, I was always happy to score a goal, but I thought we'd played pretty well before that, and it just felt like we needed a goal to settle us down. So it was good timing. I thought we settled in a bit after that.
So no, but video questions? I know that.
You came out with maybe even a more aggressive attack shape than you did against Guyana, despite the fact that Trinidad was maybe more of a dangerous attacking side. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I think one of the most important parts was that the players had a mindset of doing the job, and I think there's an intense focus around getting that job done in the game and getting it put to bed as early as we can. We always thought that we were going to have a transitional threat, and I think they had one opportunity where Aaron came up big for us, but outside of that, I just thought the girls had a real focus about getting the result, and you put an experienced player like Matheson in front of net and she delivers. And I think that was really important at that time, because we'd had a few crosses, a couple of shots, a couple of chances, and big players come up in big moments, and scoring then I thought just changed the game and allowed us to settle into a rhythm.
John, is there sort of a hope that some of these teams in the region can start to close the gap, so to speak, so that these tournaments provide better tests as you head into international competitions?
Yeah, I think that's part of the evolution of the federation, and I think it's always with time. I think the gaps have closed. I mean, for sure. I mean, looking at the results in the last 2012, I think the US were beating teams 17, 16-0. 13s and 10s have been recorded. I just don't think you see that anymore. There's definitely more tactical discipline and orientation for these teams. But again, like, you can't compare what Trinidad have got compared to Canada. I mean, they do a hell of a job to get the team out and even compete. So I fully respect the coaches and everything that they put in, but this is the way it is, and it's no different to Europe. England will go and play Kazakhstan and these other countries that just aren't at the same level and don't have the same resources. But now and again you get the fairy tale story, and Trinidad last year in 2014 were pretty much on a fairy tale story. They had a great run. But this time, I mean, for us, we were just ruthless tonight, and that was the mindset. We were going to be absolutely ruthless.
Diana, you've been part of the squad since 2003, and been with the team a long time, second most caps on the squad. So now you're one of those veteran players, and John is bringing in a lot of teenagers. What do you hope to pass on to them, to the next generation of the Canadian team?
Yeah, it's an interesting feeling being the veteran now, because obviously we remember when we were their age and we had the Charmaine Hoopers and the Andrea Neals. So we're just trying to set a good example for them, I think, and try and be good Canadians on and off the field. And it's a privilege to get to play with these young kids coming through right now. So we just try and be as good leaders as the Andrew Neals and the Charmaine Hoopers were, and try not to talk about mortgages too much. It keeps coming up a lot and they have no idea what we're talking about. So trying to relate to them on and off the field is part of it as well.
Diana, you're back after missing most of the World Cup. You've obviously been playing for a long time since then, but it's your first sort of international tournament where there's qualification at stake. How are you feeling after 2 games? And John, maybe you could talk about what she brings that you sort of missed in the World Cup.
Right now, I'm looking forward to getting some good recovery. Quick turnaround in these CONCACAF games, 2 90s, so a nice ice bath will feel great. But it's just great to be playing tournament soccer again. Obviously, I missed the World Cup, and I missed qualifying in Vancouver last time around too, so it's nice to be in a tournament. Playing every day and training every day is what we do it for. It's fun, and it's refreshing to be doing that rather than sitting on the sidelines.
Yeah, I mean, Dee was a huge loss in that World Cup. I think we both shed a tear in the Japan game when that injury happened, because you sort of know that Canada can't lose a player like Diana Matheson. She means so much to the team on the pitch with that sort of cool-headedness in front of goal, and just big moments she tends to come up. Bronze medal in London. But I think off the pitch she's an amazing player and person to just keep the team grounded and centred. She leads by example, and we love it a bit, and it's just great to see her playing every game.
Last question.
Were you at all surprised a bit with Guyana having won earlier today and Trinidad enjoying 5-goal plus differential coming into this game? Were you surprised that they never adjusted as the game kind of got away and bunkered in a bit to try to protect that goal differential lead?
Yeah, I mean, for Trinidad, we knew what they were going to try and do. They were looking to try and press from the first. They took a more offensive lineup with a 4-4-2, and they were going to go for it. But we sort of took the wind out of the sails with one of our strategies. We just went direct for a 12-13 minute period, so they couldn't catch us building from the back. And then from that moment, I think it sort of did take the wind out of their sails. But I think they competed. I mean, they did whatever they could. But when you look at some of the movement of these players and the confidence in the players, like, kind of in a good space at the minute. We were very good against Guyana. 65 crosses, against a team that had 10 players in the penalty box. We knew we had more chance against Trinidad if we played well, because they would open up a bit, and that's what happened. So, look, I just think, like you say, the amount of work and preparation teams like Trinidad can do, as soon as you get to the 60 minutes, it's tough, against a team like Canada who are fit as.
Can I just ask one more? Sorry, I feel like we'd be remiss if we didn't ask you, Christine Sinclair, if she's hit the record. She's trending in Canada right now. So.
I was wondering if anyone was going to ask.
Yeah. Can you just talk a little bit about what that meant? I mean, maybe both of you, to the team and to watch that happen or break that record.
It's kind of surreal to be able to say I've played with her all these years, I think. I mean, we grew up watching Mia Hamm. The young kids, not so much. They know less and less who Mia Hamm is, but Mia Hamm was just so big, such an amazing player, and now Christine's passed her, and I have no doubt she's going to pass Abby eventually as well, which is just unbelievable for a country like Canada who doesn't play as many games, doesn't beat teams 8-10-0 usually. Like, for her to score that many goals over the years is just an incredible accomplishment. I think it's pretty unbelievable what she's done.
She said it all.
Perfect.